community is ground zero for a national catastrophe.
Purdue will not move unless we punch hard.
This is not our fault. These people want to be addicted.
I want top executives to feel some pain.
It's crucial they understand we've created the greatest painkiller in the history of human civilization. I think I can make this the biggest drug in the world.
Good morning, Jeff in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Oh, Las Vegas. All right.
Well, Dopesick, thank you for telling me about this limited series on Hulu. Examines how one company triggered the worst drug epidemic in American history. And, from the boardrooms to big pharma to Virginia mining community, this series really encompasses all aspects of the opioid crisis, even the DEA. And Peter, where does your character, Rick Mountcastle, fall in this web of addiction and greed?
I play one of the attorneys prosecuting the case, along with these two gentlemen, and play Rick Mountcastle. He, I won't give away any plot points, but
the legal side of it, they're very intriguing. Yes.
Yeah.
And John, how is your character's journey affected by the opioid crisis?
Well, we are, Peter and I, we play, he plays Rick Mountcastle and I play Randy Ramsire, and we are in Abingdon, Virginia, which is in the little western corner of the state, which is part of the country that was really hit hard by the opioid crisis. And we started to see our character, these real live attorneys, started to see more and more break-ins and violent crimes in their rural mountain community, which up to that point, people didn't even lock their doors. And it was at that point that they approached John Brownlee, who is played by Jake, with the idea of bringing suit against Purdue.
Yeah, and Jake, your character, John Brownlee, his community's been ravaged, hasn't it?
Yeah, they bring it to his attention. And I think, immediately after they give him some of the data about, how bad it's gotten, he could tell that, something's not right there, but also, isn't naive and knows that for a case as ambitious as that, to try to take down one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, from, I think there's a line from a strip mall, is just going to take an insurmountable amount of evidence. They then embark on kind of gathering that evidence and then bringing it to Brownlee. And I think through the course of the whole thing, again, I won't give any plot things away either, but I think as the three of these guys try to push that boulder up the hill and present the case, higher and higher up the chain, Brownlee especially kind of gets just, I think there's a level of just shock and awe at how much pushback from within the government he's getting. I think you meet him as somebody who's like clearly ambitious and, comes down to these guys' area to give him to introduce himself and tell them kind of what they're after. And as they kind of snowball this case, I think it's a surprise to even him that, there's so much working against these guys.
And Peter, this series examines the beginning, right? Because a lot of people ask, how did this crisis get started? I mean, where does it all begin? And so this series examines at the very beginning, doesn't it?
West Virginia. Yeah. I mean, which was intentional on the part of Purdue Pharma, it's just sort of like very vulnerable community out there in Western Virginia. And it spread from there. I mean, I think that also, at the very beginning, a lot of these doctors, didn't really quite understand what they were getting involved with. A lot of the information that they were given by the company was misleading, to be kind. And it's interesting. That's really Michael Keaton's section of the movie, but I find it one of the more fascinating aspects of it.
Yeah, and John, executive producer. This is a personal project for Michael Keaton. I mean, known for his different various roles and how famous he is, but this was a personal subject for him. And as executive producer, how was it like working with him?
I mean, to be honest, we were in one scene together. So I saw him one day for several hours where we were like kind of in parallel worlds. So I didn't have much experience working with him, but he seems like a lovely man.
Actually, he is, yes. Well, thank you, gentlemen. What a sobering series. I think anyone who watches this is touched by it personally. I know I am, that we know someone who's been affected by this crisis. And thank you for an intriguing series, and best of luck with the show.
Thanks a
Joe.
lot.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.